In this episode, we're going to talk about Spiral Dynamics Stage Blue. I wanted to do a couple of videos around the three main stages that I feel I've grown through or been influenced by during my life throughout Spiral Dynamics. Starting off with Stage Blue, which is the influence of where my youth years were spent and the influence of the country I grew up in through my own personal endeavours into orange, and where I am now in green with my eyes set at second tier and yellow and above. Whether I get to that point in my life is another challenge indeed. But in this video, let's focus on Stage Blue. Now, if you don't know what Spiral Dynamics is or what I'm talking about, I have shot a couple of videos before where I talk about it in general. The overview of first tier, which is beige all the way through to green, and then the second tier, which is yellow, turquoise, and coral, going off into the future of the Spiral Dynamics. Okay, so Spiral Dynamics Blue. What's blue all about? Well, if you know this already, or if you've seen my other videos, you know that blue is a wee category of the Spiral Dynamics. The Stage Blue people are all about group thinking. They're all about being with their community. Now, the reason why I wanted to start with blue and how I feel like blue's been a cornerstone of my life or an area that has affected me. I grew up in Northern Ireland, which you may or may not know about, but there were some problems there between Protestants and Catholics over the last 300 years, possibly, where the United Kingdom, England, is a more Protestant-driven country. Obviously, there are pockets of different religions throughout the country, but the troubles in Northern Ireland started from the Protestant rule of England remaining in the north and separating the country after the uprising of the Republic and the creation of Ireland, the south of Ireland, from about 100 years ago, or just over 100 years ago now, 110 years ago nearly. There's been issues in Northern Ireland where we have these two subsections of the community that follow very, very similar religions that are also involved in a part of the world that has a lot of orange and green. You know, England, United Kingdom is underwritten by a kind of a socialist, free healthcare, free education up to a certain age. Lots of other benefits with that kind of country, similar to some of the more Scandinavian countries, but not quite there yet. But also the opportunity to grow and be entrepreneurial, that is all there within the United Kingdom. But the undercurrent of Northern Ireland and the undercurrent of smaller parts of the United Kingdom definitely come from this Stage Blue religious, authoritarian background. And Northern Ireland is a prime example of this. You have the Protestants and the Catholics. They both pretty much follow the same religion, except for a few small minor points. They both sides of the community are born in the same hospitals, go to the same schools, live in the same towns, but yet they want to murder and kill each other because of some other political influences and ideas in there. But it's underpinned by this Spiral Dynamics Blue theory, which is that we are part of something bigger than ourselves, and anybody else who isn't part of our community should die, basically, or is wrong. And maybe to die is a bit harsh, but obviously people have been killed in the province over the last 40 years, around 3,500 people. So there are issues there. You have to be part of one of the communities. You're either a Protestant or a Catholic, and the way they get around that is the school you went to, the work your parents did, the area or town you grew up in. All of these were small. The street you were born in, practically in parts of Belfast and other cities, you know, the side of the street you were born on determined what religion you were. And people would ask you these qualifying questions, like, oh, what soccer team, football team do you follow? Oh, what primary school did you go to? Oh, what does your parents do? Oh, where were you born? What street do you grow up in? Oh, who do you hang out with? And a lot of the times, these, in other parts of the world, these would be general conversational points. But in Northern Ireland, these are points that actually find out, are you a prod or are you a Catholic? And it's kind of pointless. And I growing up in Northern Ireland, at a certain point, I just got fucking fed up with it. I didn't want to be part of any team. I don't want to be part of any community. I was like, you're both fucking nuts. You're both ridiculous. You're fucking, your head's gone. Your mental cases. You're worrying about things that happened 300 or 400 years ago, and you're holding on to them, and you can't get out of that Stage Blue Spiral Dynamics. Yes, there are people there who have gone on to have entrepreneurial business, make money. United Kingdom is a very orange-based country with a lot of green stage people in there as well, a lot of green ideas in government on the Spiral Dynamic. However, Northern Ireland is this unique backwater bog. I say that with the most utter respect to my uncles and aunts and cousins and other people that still live there. It's a beautiful country with some beautiful people, but there are large sections of the community that are stuck in the past and stuck holding on to this blue authoritarian Protestant or Catholic, the value systems, the beliefs, that was written in the Bible that a man shouldn't be of a man, so that's what I'm going to believe, or it's written in the Bible, or somebody did an amendment to the Bible that you shouldn't, be a lesbian, gay, LGBTQ, or an amendment to the Bible 300-400 years later. Oh well, you know what? I'm not too keen on abortion, but hey, my mistresses can have them, but not poor girls who get raped. We're not going to change because this is the right way to live your life, even though science, even though spiritual development, even though the world has moved on, they're still hanging on to these old, outdated values that are then creating these flashpoints and clashes with other groups that are holding on to their old values, and even new groups who are trying to push forward. There's plenty of people in Northern Ireland, God bless them, are trying to move the needle forward, trying to be more inclusive, trying to bring peace to the province. I haven't lived there for, since the late 90s. I've obviously went back when I was at university. The last time I was in Northern Ireland was 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm not the voice to talk about the current landscape. The only thing I know is I grew up there for 20 years. I still have family there, and while reading Spiral Dynamics, I can really see how it's underpinned by that blue stage. So if you're interested in finding more about Spiral Dynamics, go and check out the books. I've got 2 other videos that I've done about them. I'll link them below the video, and also in the iCards above. I'll make them appear now as I'm talking in post. Anyway, check it out. Spiral Dynamics, super key. And I hope if you do read it, or if you do know anything about Spiral Dynamics, and if you do know anything about Northern Ireland, that maybe let me know what you think. Do you think Northern Ireland is hung up on Spiral Dynamics stage blue with the Protestant Catholic community, with the older values, with the backward thinking, or do you think that maybe it's more stage orange or stage green? Let me know. Or is it stage beige? Is it back at red? I personally think it's stage blue, and that's the first stage that I think I had to move through as an individual in my life. I had to release the shackles off being part of any of those communities, and really questioning, is this the right thing? Is the right thing to follow? Are these the right rules to follow? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. And that's where I am today. And I definitely think I then moved into stage orange, which is more individualistic stage, which is the stage I'm going to talk about next. Anyway, thanks very much for watching all the way through this point. A little bit of a personal one today, a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a sort of a own personal view on Northern Ireland. Who knows whether you understand it or not. But hey, I like talking. That's why I do a lot of this. Anyway, thanks very much for watching all the way through this end, all the way through to this stage of this video. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Make it a good one.